Hello there everyone, my name is Nathan Birch and this week we're going to be talking about project planning. So having kind of finished up your first project of the semester, we need to start looking on to your next project. Okay, this project, as a side note, will account for the majority of your grade in the course. Roughly half of your total grade in the course is what this project will be worth. And so we are going to try to do this right. Plan things from the start and give ourselves the highest chance of success that we can have. So project planning goals for this week, to prepare you to build an awesome Node.js app on your own with your teams. To prepare you for future jobs, to build your understanding of projects, requirements, planning, and risks, regardless of language or platform, and to further expand your knowledge of Node.js. Important concepts from the reading: risk management in software development, building a stable Node.js project architecture, a comprehensive website planning guide, part 1. Okay, so all these links are in your reading, and they're really important to understand. So, risk management, part 1. What is risk in software engineering? A potential problem, an activity or event that may compromise the success of a software development project, the possibility of suffering loss. Total risk exposure to a specific project will account for both the probability and the size of the potential loss. Okay, so anytime I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, I might stub my toe today, but really it's not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, and so yes, that's a risk, but I'm not really that worried about it because if I stub my toe, I'll only be hurting for a second and then my day can continue. Now, if I, go skydive, well, skydiving might be kind of safe. Maybe I'm more worried about getting in an accident, so I should scrape my windshield here in Rexburg before I go driving, okay? So when we're talking about risk, there's always a probability involved and an impact analysis involved. How probable is it, and how much will it hurt if it actually happens? What is risk management in software engineering? Risk containment and mitigation. Identify risks and plan accordingly. Be ready to act when a risk arises, drawing upon the experience and knowledge of the entire team to minimize the impact to the project. Common tasks: identify risks and their triggers. So if I'm like, all right, there is a 5% chance that I'm going to stub my toe today, what would possibly trigger that? Maybe me walking with my cell phone in front of me and looking at my cell phone while I walk. Okay, what would be a risk of me getting in a car accident? Well, I already said I need to scrape my windshields. Maybe it's making sure that my car is ready to go and nice and clean. Classify and prioritize all risks. Generally, we prioritize them by their impact that they would have. So if I have a risk that would completely stop a project and make my client really unhappy so that no one gets paid, that would be a really big risk. Craft a plan that links each risk to a mitigation plan or technique. Okay, a way to work around that risk if it arises. Monitor for risk triggers during the project. Implement the mitigation action if any risk materializes, and communicate risk status throughout the project. 5 types of risk in software project management. If we're dealing with new technologies, the majority of software projects entail the use of new technologies. Training and knowledge are of critical importance. User and functional requirements. Software requirements frequently change and adapt throughout project development, causing poor product development. Application and system architecture. Taking the wrong direction with a platform, component, or architecture can have disastrous consequences. Do your research, okay? Performance and organizational, okay? Balance, needs of the dev team and the expectations of customers. So, best practices: planning properly. Code style, your experience with the integration of third-party means and devices in your application. Data models you're up to work with. Communication and data exchange tools you're going to use. Possibility to utilize third-party libraries. NPM packages, speaking of third-party libraries. Node.js community is up and thriving. A lot of neat features are invented and written by other developers already. So before you create a particular functionality for your application, make sure if someone else has not encountered the exact problem before. Be aware of duplicates and malicious code. Keep your packages up to date. Most dependent upon packages. I'll just open this link so that you guys can see it. npmjs.com/browse/depended. Okay, and here's a bunch of packages that are used like crazy. Hey, Yeah, we're going to use a bunch of these. Okay, next one, best practices part 3, tips. Use code quality tools like Lint, okay? With VS Code, it's really easy to integrate these things into our text editors and have them kind of run their deals every time we even save if we want to. Keep track of your files or of your file size. Shoot for 300 to 500 lines of code or less. Comment your code. Handle errors. Be aware of common node development tools. We have Gulp, NodeMon, Forever, PM2, Winston, Threads. There are a bunch, okay? But be aware of them because they can really help. Website planning guide. Identify the purpose of a website. Plan with the end in mind. What is the end goal? Who's going to use it? Customer usage, potential employer viewage, planning documentation. Now, when I say potential employer viewage, that is for you personally, okay? Because when you go to career fairs or when you talk with potential employers, a lot of them are going to want to see a portfolio. They're going to want to see work that you've worked on. If they go and look at your GitHub repo and they're like, wow, there's no documentation, that you just like lost a point in their books, okay? So when you're planning with the end in mind, you want to make sure that things are well documented, well commented. You wouldn't be ashamed if somebody looked at your code. Plan out the end goal. Identify high-level features, identify low-level tasks, and plan out a schedule to complete each task and feature, okay? So that's kind of the order that we take. You have an idea, be like, oh, it'd be cool for an app to like show me where people are eating nearby that need someone to eat with, and I need someone to eat with so we can all eat together and be happy. That'd be awesome. Okay, well then I have to go to high-level features. Okay, what would that entail? We're gonna need a login system, maybe Google Maps integrated, maybe preferences, I don't know. And then low-level tasks, and then plan out a schedule to meet all of those needs. Website planning guide. These are questions to ask yourself. How would you like to be perceived through your website? What is the single most important thing visitors want from your site? What is the single most important thing you want to convey on your site? Describe your target audience. You should be able to do this. Who is your competition? This can be really helpful because you can see what they're doing and see what you can do to kind of match their role in the market. Okay, find your niche, find something to do that they are not doing, or do something that they're doing and just do it better. Why should clients choose your products or services over the competition? How will you judge if this is a successful project? List 3 or more websites you like that are similar to what you are going to create. Project proposal. So this, let me just close out of this real quick and open that up. So this is just straight on here. Okay, so topics to include in your proposal. So I want you guys to put really good thought into these, okay? And then you can use this template for your proposal. This template is just a Word doc that you'll end up uploading to iLearn or sending to your instructor. But here's what it looks like, okay? You'll go through and you'll just talk about your project. What are you going to do for your project? Here are all the questions you have to answer. Here's your schedule. What are you going to do each one of these weeks? And just kind of go through and fill this out. It'll really help you to plan out your project. So, okay, well, you guys, that is it for today. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope you guys have an awesome week.